Maybe the perfect vacation for me is being active all day, then coming back to a wonderful hotel and having a great meal. If that sounds like you, then I've got something pretty wonderful to show you. Hey there, I'm Don, and I'm bringing you inside some of the world's most unique hotels, so you can decide if they're right for you. For the next few weeks, I am traveling all over Scotland to find the coolest places to stay. The Grandtully Hotel and its sister property, Ballintaggart Farm, that we'll also visit today, are about an hour and a half north of both Edinburgh and Glasgow. As we drive past rolling fields, working farms, and more ordinary homes with tons of Scottish charm, through the Tay River Valley, I'm not quite sure what to expect from what's supposed to be Scotland's best foodie hotel. My husband Mitty is along with me, and he's a great cook, so he will definitely have some opinions about the food. This area is full of charming small towns like Aberfeldy, that's just a couple minutes down the road from the hotel. We're arriving around midday, and here's where we check in. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised that the lobby doubles as a place to grab some wine or food, or maybe some candles. Anyway, our room isn't quite ready, so the hotel is suggesting we take a short hike that's just 10 minutes away, stopping by the Balintaggart Farm on the way. Balintaggart Farm is just a couple miles away from the Grandtully. And you can stay here too, but this is more of a venue for weddings and events, usually booked out by groups. They also have a Sunday roast here, you guessed it, on Sundays, and they run cooking classes here sometimes too. We're heading for a hike that's just past Aberfeldy. And as we get close, we go past this distillery that looks like it does tastings, but we don't have time for that today if we're going to get a hike in before sunset, so we'll keep going. Today, we're taking it easy with a short loop around the Birks of Aberfeldy. A beautiful walk named after Scotland's famous poet, Robert Burns. Inspired by the birch trees and the waterfalls we're about to see, Burns wrote one of Scotland's favorite poems here in 1787. Isn't this a beautiful walk?
It is beautiful.
So I think that was a really nice walk. I was like, oh, it's not that long. It's not really a hike. It's maybe like a little over 2 miles round trip, but pleasantly surprised. Back from our walk, and our room's ready. Each of the Grandtully's 8 rooms has its own quirks and charms. If you like old school record players, there's a nice selection of vinyls. The room's not huge, and we're overlooking the main road that I hope won't be a problem when we try to sleep. With that said, this hotel is really reasonably priced, so I didn't expect a massive suite. Anyway, we're here for the food. It's late September, and the weather is still nice enough to sit outside. But a blanket and this fire does help. I'm gonna have a beer. There are a few on tap, but I'm going for the lager that's made by the hotel. The Tully is the hotel's casual restaurant and relaxed bar that starts the day as a coffee shop and bakehouse, then serves lunch and dinner, serving what I'd call elevated pub food. This place is known for their gin and tonics. They do make their own gin, and they have a big selection of natural wines. I like the vibe in here. It's definitely happening for a Wednesday night. There's a nice crowd, a friendly bartender mixing good drinks, and a nice casual menu. And we're off to a pretty good start because the food is excellent. Tomorrow we're going to take a hike, check out a local castle, another town, and what I'm looking forward to most, dinner in the hotel's fancy restaurant. The reason for coming here. Before we head out for the day's activities, we'll grab some brekkie that's included in the room. It feels like the breakfast food here just keeps coming. Not sure I'll need lunch. But before we head out, a word about other activities around here. Besides biking and hiking, the hotel is directly opposite the River Tay. Choose your own mode of transport. Most go kayaking or canoeing, but whitewater rafting is also an option in the summer. We'll be starting our hike at Loch Tay, that's about 20 minutes from the hotel, in the charming town of Kenmore. Kenmore and Loch Tay are popular in the summers with boating on the loch and hiking around the mountains. And by the way, don't forget to grab your free 7, 10, and 14-day Scotland itineraries. Where to go, what to do, and where to stay. Swank style. Today we're doing a hike that's about a 6-mile loop starting in the really beautiful city of Kenmore below us that goes up above Loch Tay, and we'll take a diversion into what they call a mini Stonehenge. After the hike, we're headed for Dunkeld, another town about 20 minutes from the hotel, that one of the other guests raved about. So we thought we'd check it out. You could spend the whole day here having a meal or coffee, checking out all the stores, or just strolling through the streets. But it's time to head back for our fancy dinner. Before we head into dinner, let me show you the hotel's living room that's next to the formal restaurant. At night, they light a fire, so a great place to grab a drink before heading in for dinner. You know, I started this channel because too often I was disappointed when I showed up at my hotel. But I've come to realize that a great vacation isn't just about where you stay, it's also about that perfect dinner, maybe a great art gallery, or an incredible hike other tourists don't know about. So if you're tired of guessing when you travel, check out my website where I can save you money and I think help you plan the perfect trip. Behind the formal dining room is this private dining room for larger groups. The menu here depends on what the chef can get a hold of and also changes with the seasons. Guests choose between the tasting menu with vegetarian and vegan options available, or the shorter seasonal set menu.
It's really good.
I'm curious if you plan your vacations around food. If you do, I'd love to hear about your favorite foodie hotel in the comments. The highs here for me are the great vibe, of course the food, and I love the bar and outdoor space for late afternoon drinks. But you should know the hotel is right next to a slightly busy road, and I liked our room, but I can't say I loved it. All ages are welcome here, but kids under 14 are not allowed in the fancy restaurant. There is a children's menu in the bar, so you got it right. No kids in the restaurant, but the bar's okay. We're in Scotland after all. Also, this place is popular with weekenders from the city, so book early if you'll be here over a weekend. And note, the fancy restaurant's not open every night. It varies by season, so check with the hotel before booking. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, the best way you can support me is by subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. It really helps. And if you know someone who'd love this too, I'd be so grateful if you'd share it with them. Next, I'm headed close to Balmoral Castle, to one of the wildest hotels I have ever stayed in. Owned by famous art collectors with some crazy taste. Amazing art and a whiskey bar with over 400 bottles. Thanks for watching and see us in the next video. The pillows here are really good. They get a 10. Good night.